Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Naranam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudhiraye. Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtagi. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. Namah Pangajanabhaya Namah Pangajamalinim Namah Pangajanetraya Namaste Pangajangre. Mukam Karodi Vachalam Pangam Langayade Girim Yatkribatamaham Mande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Shri Chaitanyam Ishwaram Paramananda Madhavam. Hare Krishna. So welcome back to Bhagavad Gita English class. Today we are starting a new chapter. So reading from chapter 10, the opulence of absolute, verses 1 to 3. Verse 1, Shri Bhagavan Vacha Bhuya eva mahabaho Shunu me paramam vacha Yatte ham priyamanaya Bhakshami hidakamyaya. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Bhuya eva mahabaho Shunu me paramam vacha Yatte ham priyamanaya Bhakshami hidakamaya. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Bhuya eva mahabaho Shunu me paramam vacha Yatte ham priyamanaya Bhakshami hidakamyaya. Vaikri Mataji. Vaikari.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Can read the verse.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Bhagavan Vaja. Bhuya eva mahabaho. Srunu me paramam vaja. Yatte aham priyamanaya vakshami hidakamya. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Sigdamaji.
Yes. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Bhuyang eva mahabaho Srunung me paramang vachah Yate hang priyamanaya Bhakshami hita kamyaya. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Can I read the translation?
Can read that word by word and translation, both.
Yes, Prabhuji. Sri Bhagavan Vacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Bhuyaha, again, eva, certainly, Mahavaho, O mighty armed, Shrunu, just hear me, my Parama, Supreme Vachaha, information, Yat, that, which, te, to you, Aham, I, Pranamaya, thinking you dear to me, Vakshami, say, Hita for your benefit. The Supreme Lord said, my dear friend, Mighty arm Arjun, listen again to my supreme word, which I shall impart to you for your benefit and which will give you a great joy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Right. Text 2. Name vidu suraganaha prabhavam na mahashaya ahamadir hidevanam maharshinam cha sarvasha. Name vidu suraganaha prabhavam na mahashaya ahamadir hidevanam maharshinam cha sarvasha. Name vidu suraganaha prabhavam na mahashaya ahamadir hidevanam maharshinam cha sarvasha. Yes, Vaikari.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Name vidu suraganaha prabhavam nama maharshayaha ahamadirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvesha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol. Sigdamaji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Name viduhu suraganaha prabhavang nama harshayah ahang madihi devanang maharshinang cha sarvasah. Na, never, me, my, viduhu, knows, suraganaha, demigods, prabhavam, opulences, na, never, maharsayaha, great sages, aham, I am, adihi, the origin, he, certainly, devanam, of the demigods, maharshinam, of the great sages, cha, also, sarvesa, in all respects. Neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin, for in every respect I am the source of the demigods and the sages. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Verse 3. Yomam ajamanadim cha veti lokamaheshwaram asamudha samartyeshu sarvapapai pramuchyade. Yomam ajamanadim cha veti lokamaheshwaram asamudha samartyeshu sarvapapai pramuchyade. Yomam ajamanadim cha veti lokamaheshwaram asamudha samartyeshu sarvapapai pramuchyade. Hare Krishna. Vaikri, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yomam ajamanadi saveti logamaheshwadam asamudam samartyeshu sarva pabai pramuchyade. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yo mam ajaman anadim yo mam ajamam nadi cha beti loko maheshwaram asamudha cha satyeshu sarva pape pramuchyate.
Hare Krishna.
Meaning,
Yes.
yeah, anyone, mam, unto me, azam, unborn, anadim, without beginning, cha, also, veti, knows, loka, the planets, maheswaram, supreme master, asamodha, without doubt, sa, he, martesu, among those subjects to death, sarva papeha, from all sinful reactions, pramichyate, is delivered. He who knows me is the unborn, is the beginningless, and is the supreme Lord of all the worlds. He, undiluted among men, is freed from all sins. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmelidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthavidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Mahyam Dadadi Swapadandiyam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadagamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Stam Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunathanvidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadhutam Parijana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shivishagan Vidamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagalpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namastude Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpadru Vestikraba Sindhu Vyevacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Nama Nama Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidhi Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Shri Bhagavan Vacha Bhuya eva Mahabaho Shunu me Paramam Vaja Yatteham Priyamanaya Vakshyami Hidakamyaya. The Supreme Lord said, my dear friend, mighty Arjuna, listen again to my supreme word, which I shall impart to you for your benefit and which will give you great joy. Hare Krishna. So, yeah, Krishna is going to describe his opulences in detail in this chapter. Previously, in the 7th and the 9th chapter, he had given glimpses of his opulence. In 7th chapter, verses 8 to 12. Rasohamapsukaunteya, starting from that up to H.G.Satyavrta Bhava, the 5 verses. He has given that whatever be, whether it is material or spiritual, that is in this world, it is all because of Krishna's presence. Because of Krishna only, all things are existing in this universe. So that in 5 verses he has described. And then again, in the 9th chapter, verses from 16 to 19, where we have describing this, those people, Vishwadhomukham, how people are understanding or trying to understand Krishna through the objects in the world. And not objects, what are substances, whatever that you see in Vedas, whatever you see around, when you look around, whatever you find, whatever by the relationships, everything, that is described from verses 16 to 19. So in those two chapters, in these 2 chapters, Krishna is giving a glimpse of his opulence. Because in the 7th, 8th, and 9th chapter, we are already in the 4th chapter of the Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga starts from chapters 7 to 12. So 7th and 8th and 9th, Krishna had described his both kinds of energies. And 8th chapter, different types of yogis who are interested in getting liberation. And the 9th chapter, Krishna has described Ananya Bhakta, described Ananya in detail. So towards the end of the 9th chapter, he is advising how we can be Ananya Bhakta by saying that Man Mana Bhavamad Bhakto, Man Mana, always think about me. The constant remembrance, how to remember Krishna continuously, without any break, without cessation, 24 hours a day. Connecting everything to Krishna, that is the way. Connecting everything to Krishna. So suppose you are taking some water, like in the 7th chapter, and rasam, the taste of the water is Krishna. So whichever way, looking at the sun, you see the shyness, the brightness of the sun, then you understand this, the power of the sun is coming from Krishna only. So like that way, whenever you whatever you do, whatever you look from, see, you can see Krishna. So manmana means always thinking constantly of Krishna. So the request of Arjuna, Krishna will now describe from verses 19 to 19 to 42 his opulences in detail. So the breakdown in this chapter just got 42 verses. 1 to 7 deals with the unknowable Krishna, trying to understand the unknowable Krishna. Krishna is unknowable to many, or rather most. Only very few people really understand Krishna as he is. That also to the extent of their degree of devotion, and as far as Krishna is permitting. So generally, Krishna is unknowable. So trying to understand Krishna, trying to know the unknowable Krishna is a subject matter of the first 7 verses, 1 to 7 verses. Then from 8 to 11, 4 verses, this is a famous Chadushloki Bhagavad Gita. We have the Chadushloki in Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, 9th chapter, 29 to 33 verses, or rather 31 to 34, I think. I don't remember exactly. So like that, in Bhagavad Gita also, you have this Chadushlokyam, which describes the origin of Krishna is origin of everything, and the eagerness of the devotees to understand Krishna and glorify him, and the Krishna's reciprocation. This is of the second section, which is called Chadushloki Bhagavad Gita. And then from 12 to 18, in 7 verses, Arjuna's realization as Krishna as a supreme person, supreme personality Godhead, how he has realized Krishna, and on the basis of Acharyas, Vyasa, Asida, and all those stalwart Acharyas are there, and based on their realization or their writings, and also on the words of Krishna himself, Arjuna is recognizing or understanding and accepting Krishna as a supreme personality. And then he is requesting Krishna how a person can remember Krishna when he is not present in this world. So in reply to that, from 19 onwards to 42, Krishna is describing very prominent of his opulences. His opulence cannot be counted. It's running in crores. Unlimited opulence of Krishna. Among that, many very, very prominent ones, Krishna is describing in the verses 19 to 42. So here, in the first verse, Krishna says, Bhuya. Again, I'll describe to you. Bhuya eva. So Krishna is very, very happy with Arjuna, because Arjuna is very, ideal student. He is always listening, very rapt attention, and putting questions which is very relevant. And that way, the teacher is always very happy. So Krishna will also speak more and more and more. And here Krishna says, I'll again describe to you in detail about my opulences, which is a rather indirect knowledge of Krishna. We can understand that this is not direct knowledge. Like if you say the taste of water, it is not directly Krishna himself. But then through the energy of Krishna, we try to understand Krishna. By the all-pervading energies of Krishna, we try to understand Krishna. So that is indirect, or you can say paroksha. In Sanskrit, it's called paroksha. So in 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it says that the sages are very interested in indirect meaning, and Krishna is also very pleased with that. Paroksha cha mama priyam. Krishna says, I also like this. Because he is trying to correlate or relate his opulences to the layman who are not pure devotees or very advanced devotees. Only advanced devotees are religious and can remember the pastimes of Krishna, which for them comes very automatically. Others are not that fortunate. So, to help them to get on to this spiritual road, spiritual path, these opulences are described in detail. So through the opulences, they can connect to Krishna, sambandha, some connection can be established. And from that sambandha, you can start abhideya. Abhideya means the process of worship, the process by which you can develop or nourish this relationship, which is basically called devotion. And then our last one is prayojana. Prayojana means ultimate benefit. The ultimate benefit you can derive out of this devotion service. So with that in mind, Krishna is telling Krishna, Shunu me paramam vacha. Paramam in two aspects. Paramam means the supreme words, the words of the supreme. One understanding is the words of the supreme. Here, the paramam vacha means words of the supreme. And the supreme is Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada, as we all very well know, is quoting from Vishnu Puran, Parashara Muni, how the Shadaishwarya, which are the 6 opulences of Krishna, Aishwaryasya Samagrasya, Virasya Yashasa Shriya, Jnana Vairagyastaiva, Shannam Bhaga Idingana. That verse we have been repeating so in almost all the chapters. It's a very famous verse, which describes in detail the Aishwarya of Krishna, absolutely. So that is supreme. So most of the, all the sages, very learned sages, very realized sages, everyone has accepted Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead. So another meaning is Paramam Vacha means the supreme words of the Krishna, supreme words, Paramam Vacha and supreme words. So supreme words, basically when it's coming from Krishna, is Bhagavad Gita only. And when it is describing about Krishna, it is Srimad Bhagavatam. So here Krishna is meaning that you have listened to me in 7, 8, and 9 chapter about this, about devotion, about my nature, about my energies, about the characteristics of my Ananya Bhakta, pure devotees. Now I will again describe to you again once more. So that is another meaning of this Paramamacha. And why I am doing this? Yatteham priyamanaya vakshyami. Aham vakshyami te. I'll speak to you. No, this is not a plain speaking. I'll speak to you means there is another meaning behind this, which means I'm speaking to you for the purpose. I have got a purpose because I have to make you amazing. I give you pleasure and so many things like that. So Krishna says, Yatteham vakshyami, priyamanaya vakshyami. So that will give you a lot of pressure. And ultimately, what is the purpose? Vakshyami hitakameya. That is for your ultimate benefit. So the more and more one hears about Krishna, more and more he becomes fixed in devotion service. That is why in case of devotion, there is absolutely no saturation point. No, oh, enough is enough. This is enough. I don't want to go beyond this. Nothing like that. The more you hear about Krishna, more you chant about Krishna, more you hear pastimes of Krishna, more you think about Krishna, you get more and more fixed on Krishna. Then you should always listen or hear or chant in association with devotees. You do not do it alone. Always in association with devotees. That will enhance one's devotion. Because you find that so many other living entities, so many people are there who are also very interested in worshipping Krishna, who are surrendered to Krishna. And that will add to your faith and add to your conviction. makes you more and more strong. So devotee should always be very merciful. He should be very merciful to everyone, so that one becomes very comfortable in his association. So that should be the goal of every devotee, so that he makes himself available to everyone. Like Srila Prabhupada, we can see that he's always available. For him, there is not even a single private moment, except the 2 hours he's sleeping. Every time he's engaged in doing some and then talking to his disciples and talking to others. And whoever wants to speak to Krishna, Prabhupada, who want to take association with Prabhupada, love him. Not like the Mayavadi sannyas and all that, who just give a speech for half an hour, 1 hour, then go back to the room and shut down himself there. He will not make himself. In case of some our here also, in ISKCON also, you find some persons like that also. But Prabhupada was never like that. All the time he is with the devotees. Morning walk, you'll send the famous, so many famous morning walk talks are there. One book is there, Life Comes from Life, is based on the morning walks of Krishna. Sorry, Prabhupada only. Have you read that book, Sigdamaji? Life Comes from Life.
What is the book, Prabhuji?
Life Comes from Life. It's a very famous book. Life Comes from Life.
Okay.
If you find
okay,
that,
I will read.
Let me see. Yes. Sometimes I may go to Vrindavan again, maybe next month or so. I can get the book if you want. You should start reading. Yes, how many Srila, are you reading other books of Srila Prabhupada?
Yes, Prabhuji. I am reading Nectar of Devotion and Kadambini. These few books, very few, and Upanishad.
Upanishad.
That that is not Upanishad. No, that is not Upanishad, Prabhuji. That is some.
No, Prabhupada only, no?
That is, yes.
By Prabhupada only, no? The
no,
books are
Prabhuji,
written
it is not by Prabhupada. Nectar of Devotion is written by
that is Prabhupada. Rupa Goswami, but translated by Prabhupada. Like that, I mean, if it is written by our acharyas, Vaishnava acharyas, Gaudiya Vaishnava acharyas, and Srila Prabhupada has given some purport to that also in many books. That is our books. That is our books.
Yes,
Ishopanishad. Yes, Ishopanishad. Correct. Ishopanishad is by Srila Prabhupada. Right. I mean, of course.
Yes.
I spoken by Manu only. Then, of course, yeah, right. So try to read more and more, so you can understand it. And you would have read a biography of Srila Prabhupada?
No, I'm just listening. Sometimes from YouTube, I'm listening the talks.
Actually, there's a Leelamar. I mean, so many books are now about available of Srila Prabhupada. Initially started with Satsvarupa Das writing about Prabhupada Leelamar, and then after that, now there are scores, dozens and dozens of Srila Prabhupada. Now, almost all his disciples are now writing about Srila Prabhupada.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So you can then understand how great Acharya is Srila Prabhupada. So we have to always listen and always do the devotion service in association. And Arjuna here, Krishna here, again is very happy to give to Arjuna, because Arjuna is very dear to him. And so now he is going to describe. In verse 2 he says, Name vidu suraganaha prabhavam na maharshaya ahamadir hi devanam maharshinam cha sarvashaha. Neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin, for in every respect I am the source of demigods and the sages. So Krishna very clearly says that nobody knows about the origin of Krishna. So that is this, because he is original. Nobody was there when he along with him. Krishna always existed along with his energies. And only when he started expansion and then creation only, then others came to be. So in Chatushlokam Bhagavatam, the first verse it says, before creation only I existed, and after creation only I will exist. And during creation also I am only existing. Because whatever you find in during the creation is energies only. But then in our Bheda, Abheda Tattva, Krishna is one with energy and different from his energy also. If he is totally one with his energy, then there is no question of enjoyment. If he is totally different from his energy also, then also there is no enjoyment. Why Krishna expanded himself? Because he wanted to enjoy. When you have to enjoy, then there should be a difference. Then only you can receive the service. If it is totally different, and then there will not be any intimacy. So Madhvacharyas and Shankaracharyas, Madhvacharya is totally different. Yeah, totally different. They say it's living entity and Krishna totally different. According to Shankaracharya, living entity and Krishna, the Supreme, is one and the same only. So both their philosophies are not accurate, precise. The most precise philosophy is one that is given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Achindya Bheda Abheda Tattva. This Bheda Abheda, simultaneously different and same, is a bit difficult to understand or different to comprehend. So it is called Achintya. So Krishna says, nobody knows my origin. Like we don't know the origin of our father. Isn't it? Very simple example. We don't know the origin of our father. Like that way, nobody knows. And nobody means not even the stalwarts demigods like Brahma and Shiva. And Shiva openly says in the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that none of us know Krishna fully, because none of us were around at that time. So actually, Vedas talk about how this creation take place. Nobody knows. How these universes came into being, nobody knows. Because everything came later. Those who are people, the demigods, all came later. So nobody actually knows how the creation took place, how the worlds came into existence. And that is given in Rig Veda. Ko Adha Veda, who knows clearly? Ko Adha Veda. Adha means clear, direct meanings of it. Ko Adha Veda, who knows clearly? Ka Hiya Pravachat. Who can proclaim in this world? Who can proclaim, I know it for sure, like that? Ka Iha Pravachat. Kuda e jada, from where this universe was born. How can anyone authentically state that, yes, I know about this? Can anyone tell that? Nobody. Kuda iyam visishti, how, where this creation came from? Can anyone tell? Nobody can tell. Why? Arvak deva asya visarjanaya. All these demigods came after creation. So atha, therefore, ko veda yada abhavuva. So where all this came from, nobody really knows. So Krishna says, Prabhavam, Name Vidu Suragana, and then Maharshaya also, with the great sages also, like Sanat Kumara. They are supposed to be the greatest rishis. They also don't know. What they don't know, the Prabhavam. Prabhavam. Pra means very extraordinary. Bhavam means appearance. So the extraordinary appearance or extraordinary origin of Krishna, nobody knows. Because I am the starting point. I am Adirhi Devanam Maharshinam. So when Krishna says I, it is person only, it's person only. I am the origin of Devas and Mahashis. You cannot give a abstract meaning to what I here. I very clearly, Krishna says, I am the Supreme Personality, means Krishna, the person, is the Supreme Person. Mayavadis give a very concocted meaning to this. Because their senses are imperfect. No living entity has got perfect senses. Everyone has got imperfect senses only. Brahma Pramada Vipralisa Karnapadava. Sorry, Karnapadava. Ishwarya Vakya Yena. In the words of Krishna, in the words of Veda Vyas, who is a literary incarnation of Krishna, there is no imperfection. But in the words of other living entities, is imperfection. First is illusion. Or you can say first is the imperfect sense. Our senses are imperfect. And because our senses are imperfect, we are prone to illusion. And when you are in illusion, there is a tendency to make mistake. And when there is a mistake, naturally there will be a tendency to cheat also. So these Mayavadis, because of imperfect senses, they are under illusion, they are under the gunas, they make mistakes, but then they try to pass their mistake, their mistaken ideas to others as truth. So this is cheating. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita only this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only states this in the conversation with Raman, sorry, Baladev Vidyabhushan, sorry, not Baladev Vidyabhushan, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. You should be knowing Snigdha Maji, they're from Orissa only. Of course, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was from Mayapur only. Then he settled in Puri. He was a very, very great scholar.
Yes, Prabhuji.
In Puri, you will find this his residence also, no? If you go to Puri, you find Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's residence. You will find. So, in the debate with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya initially was a Mayavadi philosopher. Because most scholars, ardent scholars, in the beginning, they're all Mayavadis. So in that conversation, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is establishing that whatever Shankaracharya has written is wrong because he's got imperfect senses, not Vedavyas. Because Brahma Sutra, the Vedanta Sutra, Sharirika Bhasha of Shankaracharya is very famous, accepted mostly everybody by most of people as the original commentary on Brahma Sutra. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says the original commentary of Brahma Sutra is Srimad Bhagavatam only, written by the same author. And when Bhagavatam is there, nobody need to give another interpretation or another commentary on Brahma Sutra. So what Shankaracharya has done is very abominable. So like that way, he's convincing Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Because of imperfect senses, these Mayavadis make mistakes and they try to pass on these mistakes as truth, which is cheating. Most of us, we also have this tendency. When we make mistake, we try to cover it in a nice way and nicely and try to pass it on as a very normal thing. Happens. Suppose we do some mistake, then we try to make it as normal. That's nothing very big thing about it. That tendency is there in every living entity. But to understand Krishna, you need perfect senses, and which can be imparted only by Krishna. So Krishna says, I am Adirhi Devana Marshinam Cha Sarvashta. I am the source, I am the beginning, origin of all the living gods and all the Marshinam Sarvashaha in all respects. Not that I am simply origin of these people, because whatever they have, their qualities, their strength, their power, their vigor, their jnana, knowledge, everything has been given to me. So nobody can claim anything as my own. If I say my knowledge is mine, or my vigor is mine, or my physique is mine, then I am an illusion. So Sarvasha, the word Sarvasha, Srila Prabhupada gives us very nice meaning. In all respects, he gives, in all respects. See the meanings he's giving. So if you can think about these meanings then. Why not respect? Whatever we have, whatever these persons, these demigods and these sages they're having, everything has been given to them by Krishna only. Now Krishna says, next verse, one who how am I to be understood? Krishna says, Yomam ajamanadim cha veti logamaheshwaram. So ajam anadi logamaheshwaram. These are the major mode of understanding Krishna. Aja, the word Aja is used in respect of living entities also. Najayade mure deva kadajin nayam bhutva bhavida vana bhuya ajo nityam shashvadoyam purano hanyade hanyamane sharire. 20th verse of 2nd chapter. He says there also Aja, but the living entity is also Aja. Yes, living entity is also Aja. But the living entities in this material world, they have accepted so many bodies. For them, when they are engaged in these material bodies, there is always a beginning and there is always an end. So in that aspect, Aja cannot be used. Even the people who are not liberated, they are always in this BODD cycle only. Now, in respect of sadhana siddhas who got liberated here by doing sadhanas, by reading scriptures, by doing devotion service, rendering as per instruction of spiritual master, one is liberated from these material bonds. Then also for them also, there was once a bondage with matter. And Krishna has no association, no sprinkling of matter. So Krishna is different from the conditioned soul. Krishna is different from the liberated soul by sadhana, this is called sadhana mukta, sadhana mukta. And he's also different from nitya mukta. And there are some, not some, most of the living entities actually in Vaikuntha only. Ekapada vibhuti, tripada vibhuti. Tripada means 3/4 are in universe Vaikuntha. Only 1/4. Of course, this is what do you call it? This for our understanding, because Vaikuntha is absolute. So we cannot really fix a number, say. But for our understanding, we can say 3/4 is in Vaikuntha and 1/4 only in material world. So those living entities who are in Vaikuntha, they are called Nitya Mukta. They are eternally liberated. They have now come to this matter. They are now come to this material world. But Krishna is even different from this Nitya Muktas also, because Nitya Muktas are not Logamaheshwara. They are not the creators of this universes. Only Krishna is the creator of the universe. So this is a proper understanding Krishna, Ajam Anadim Logamaheshwaram. So Krishna is totally different from everything that is created. In all respect, Krishna is now created. Krishna is there. Krishna is. We can always say Krishna is. Now this may be very difficult for us to grasp, because in our conditioned state, we always think of anything has got a beginning. We cannot conceive something which doesn't have any beginning. Because always try to find there should be one source for this. There should be beginning, means there should be a source, isn't it? But when Krishna says, I am the origin and I am the source of everything, naturally that means that there is no other source for Krishna. So that way we have to try to understand what Krishna is telling us. He existed before creation and is different from his creation. And all these demigods, all these Maharaja, all the Prajapatis, everyone has come later. So Yomam Ayam Anadim Cha. Anadim Cha means Anadim means not no beginning. No beginning means he doesn't have any birth. But at the same time, Krishna has got birth also. Because Krishna has appeared as a son of Devaki. So Krishna, even though is appearing as a son of Devaki, he is not giving up his eternal status or eternal position as the unborn. So you'll find that when Krishna is appearing, he comes in the 400 form. In case of one, when we are doing this Vamana Avatara now, when Vamana Deva comes, he also comes with 4 arms. And then they convert into human form. But the difference again, here the mystery of Krishna deepens, because when Krishna converts himself as a Pragati Shishu, actually that is the original form of Krishna. The original form of the Supreme Truth. The original form is 200 form of Krishna, Shama Sundara form. And from that, only this 400 forms and this Virat form, everything has come from this 200 form. So, understanding Krishna is very, very difficult. It's very mysterious. See, Narayana, the 400 forms, is difficult to conceive because it's different from other living entities. Then what to speak of the mystery behind Krishna, or mystery involving Krishna? Extremely confidential things, which only actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knows in detail. And so we are very fortunate to be in his parampara. And because of his costless mercy, he has given this knowledge, very, very confidential knowledge, to his disciples, Shad Goswamis, who have written very, very nice books about this for our understanding, whatever understanding we can have. So Krishna is totally inconceivable. So in the 11th canto, in the 3rd canto, I think it's in 2nd canto, 3rd canto. In 3rd canto, when the conversation between Vidura and
Maitreya.
No, Maitreya. Beginning first, this one only, Uddhava. Maitreya comes later. First, initially, Vidura goes to Uddhava. And then they are speaking about Krishna, and Uddhava is describing in detail about pastimes, the history of Krishna. And then finally concludes that it's very his all activities are contradictory. Because you can say Krishna engaged in karmic activities, like fruitive activities. You'll find Krishna engaged in giving charity and all those things and things. This is fruitive activity only.
Yes.
Then you'll find Krishna running away in fear from Jarasandha into a fort like Dwaraka.
Yes.
So that condition. Then you'll find Krishna enjoying with his wives, although he's Atmarama. So these kinds of very, very contradiction. And it's very difficult for a layman or people who are, we got a skeptic mind who are trying to understand Krishna. Then they will say, oh, Krishna, either they will say that these are very mythology only, or there's an exaggeration. Or they will say Krishna is just an ordinary person, like every one of us. So Sanatana Goswami in his Bhagavata Bhagavatamritam, he says that all these pastimes, if they are considered to be not factual, then whole our existence and whatever we have studied so far, or whatever understanding becomes valueless. But these are facts, they are vasa only. But that can be understood only by the achintya, because Krishna's all the pastimes are achintya. Krishna's leelas, Krishna's pastimes are achintya. It's inconceivable for anyone to understand perfectly. So only those people, all those devotees who are favored by Krishna, Nyayamatma Pravajana Labhyo, Kathopanishad says, Krishna cannot be understood by a lot of discourses, cannot be understood by a great knowledge in Vedas. For them, he calls himself. But a person to a humble devotee or pure devotee who is totally surrendered to Krishna, then Krishna reveals all this mystery. So that person will really understand Krishna's position as Ajam Anadi Logha Maheshwaram. And the person who understands this perfectly, he becomes Asammudha. I mean, he is not illusion anymore. He's not an illusion. He will not be deluded. And if he's not deluded, then what happens? He's liberated from all the sinful activities. Sarvade pramuchade. Because real paba, real sin is having an imperfect knowledge of Krishna. From that starts everything. From that starts, then we identify ourselves as body. So these are the root of the sinful activities which we have been committing in endless lifetimes, only due to the imperfect understanding of Krishna. So Krishna is very, very merciful. So he's trying to explain, make us understand who Krishna is through his vibhutis, which will be described from the 19th verse. Thank you very much. So any questions, any more clarification you need?
Yes, Prabhuji, what is there in the Brahma Sutra?
Brahma Sutra is what you call Vedanta. Vedanta means ultimate of Vedas. The essence of Veda is given in Vedanta Sutra, which is written by Vedavyas only. So that consists of 4 parts. The essence of Vedanta, as described by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is 3 aspects, that is Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. So you find that the first verse of Vedanta, Adado Brahma Jijnasa. Then you'll find Janmadi Asyadha, that is first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam also. So these are sutras, very, very small sutras, very small abridged ones, but contains a lot of meaning. So when if any parampara is to be understood as authorized, one of the acharyas in this parampara should have written a commentary on Vedanta Sutram, which is also called Brahma Sutra.
Oh,
so in our parampara, this commentary is written by Baldev Vidyabhushan. There is a big pastime regarding this, which we'll tell in some other class. Or we can say this, actually what happens, there was, we knowing also, there was a debate between Sri Parampara people and our people, and in Rajasthan, and Vishwanath Chakravarti was supposed to go and take part in debate, but Vishwanath Chakravarti is very old, so he sent his disciple Baldev Vidyabhushan. So in that many days debate started, and Baldev Vidyabhushan was gaining the upper hand. He was defeating all the arguments of Sri Parampara. Then finally, the people asked, okay, who has written, which is the commentary you have in your parampara about Vedanta Sutra? Because Ramanacharya has written Sri Bhashya. So then, Baldev Vidyabhushan, yes, there is a commentary on this. I'll bring that for you. Actually, that was not a factor. But on that spot, he said that there is a commentary on Veda written by Acharyas. Then he said, give me some time, I go and fetch it. So he was allowed 41 days. Then he came back to Vrindavan. Then he wept before Radha Govind, Rupa Goswami's temple, Radha Govind. And then in the night, Govindji appeared in his dream. Then he said that, don't, Govindji, Krishna said, don't worry, don't be disheartened. I'll explain to you. And then, well, the Vidavishnu started writing. In 41 days, he completed that. So that Bhashyam became very famous as Govinda Bhashyam. So Govinda Bhashyam is our Bhashya on commentary on Vedanta Sutra. Then he went back and read this Govinda Bhashya, and everyone appreciated that. So if you are to be accepted as authorized Parambara, three things are there. Dashopanishad. One Acharya, some Acharya should have written the commentary on Dashopanishad, then Vedanta Sutra, and Bhagavad Gita. Tripati.
Yes.
It's called three. This is basically three scriptures, three aspects of divisions of scriptures. One is Vedanta Sutra, then is Dashopanishad, Mukhya principal Upanishads, and then Bhagavad Gita. So you can understand Bhagavad Gita is at par with this. So Bhagavad Gita is not a minor scripture, it's a great scripture. It's all that Veda, all the leading Acharyas have written commentary, given commentary on Bhagavad Gita.
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji.
Right.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Shall I render the Narsimha Kirtan?
Yes.
Namaste Narasimhaya, Namaste Narasimhaya, Praladaladaine, Hiranyakashipurvakshaha, Shilatankanakhalai, Ito Narsingho Parato Narsingho, Yato Yami Tato Narsingha, Bahir Narsimha Hridayir Narsimha Narasimhamadi Sharanam Prapade Tabakara Kamala Bare Nakham Adbhuta Srungam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubhrungam Keshabhadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Narsingadev 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 Jaya Narsingadev Jaya Narahari 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 Jaya Narahari Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Prahlad Narasimha Jaya Prahlad Narasimha Jaya Prahlad Narasimha Jaya Prahlad Narasimha Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Om Ugrang Birang Mahavishnum Jalantam Sarvatomukham Narsingham Vishanam Bhadrang Mrityu Namamyaham Jai Narsimha Sri Narsimha Jai Jai Sri Narsimha Prahladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bhranga Om Ugrang Birang Mahavishnum Jalantam Sarvatomukham Narsingham Vishanam Bhadrang Mrityu Namamyaham Jai Narsimha Sri Narsimha Jai Jai Sri Narsimha Prahladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bhranga Sarva Vigna Vinasak Narsimha Bhagavan ki Jai.
Jai. Thank you. Acha Kalpadrupescha.
Krupa Sindhu Bhayavacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo.
Nanda Gori Vaishnava Vrinda ki.
Jai.
La Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
I go